wind has got nuts out there. Right, coffee time. Now, you see my 2-piece rod, spinning rod, it's now become a 3-piece spinning rod. It's unbelievable. I've broken so many rods. I say so many, 3 or 4 rods in the last couple of years. More rods than I've ever broken in my whole life of fishing. They're getting so thin. I mean, look how thin that is. Carbon, yeah, they made them thin, but now they just got too thin, I think. Now, this actually broke. It didn't just break from fishing, it was my fault. I pulled up to my dinghy, and my dinghy was sort of round the back, and it lifted up with a wave, caught the front of the rod, and the rod, I'll show you, the rod where it broke there was just under the cleat, so it did that, and it basically just snapped the rod. So now, knackered rod, which means I don't have, well, I've got one broken spinning rod that I'm actually using. I snapped the top off a Vendetta last year when I pulled an engine out of the car, broke the tip off, but I managed to fix the tip. It's short, but it does just about work, but now it's left me, like I say, without a spinning rod. The only other ones I've got are my river kite rods that I used to use in Sweden, like that, which are short little ones, which, I mean, I can use them if I have to, but... So, I'm in the market for more rods. Actually, I've got that one, which, this is a put together. The bottom is part of a Shakespeare rod, the top is... Hold on, yeah, the top is a broken one of these as well. One of these. I just fixed it so it slots onto that, so I could use that for now as a spare. I've got, like I say, as long as I've got a spare one. You don't want to break your rod when you're in the middle of catching bass or something. And as you know, the other week, this reel broke. The handle was getting loose, I took it off, but it's knackered. It's gone inside. Now what I tend to do is I tend to buy a bunch of cheap reels like this. You'll see I've got another one here. And I've got another one in the car on another rod. So I buy 3 or 4 of the same reel usually, cheaper ones. And then I use them till they break, and I just hook out a brand new one. And I use that. And then when that one of them, like this breaks or the next one breaks, and I take the spare parts off of this and I fix that. And I just keep doing that, and it goes on for years. I mean, these reels have lasted, like this one, this has lasted 3 years. And it gets a lot of use, and a lot of brutal use as well in the boat. So, it's lasted well for a cheap reel. And there's still 2 left, and I can fix the parts. But, I decided, I've been thinking about it for a long time. There was a reel I looked at a little while back in the tackle shop, and I really liked the look of it. I don't know if this is the exact same one, but same idea. So I went out and bought a new reel. Now, I bought a more expensive one. I say more expensive, not that bad. And I bought this one, which is the Penn Slammer 460. They didn't have the 480, they out of stock on that one. Lovely reel, bit of weight to it, so it's got, you know, it's a nice reel, you can see that. But I looked at one of these one day and I really liked it, the way it's sort of all sealed, supposed to be waterproof, all the rest of it, and I thought, I want to get one of those one day. And so I decided to buy one now, just before I broke the rod. So I haven't got a rod for it, so now I've got to go and buy a rod. So I'll probably go and have a look, see what decent rods I can find, or half decent. I'm not going to spend 200 quid on a rod, put it that way. Because my rods, like I say, they get used to destruction, and they take quite a pasting, especially when they're out in the boat. It's alright when you're just walking on the beach, doing a bit of spinning, taking it home, rinsing it off, that kind of thing. But when you're on the boat, you're throwing your rods around, they're in the way, pots coming on board, you don't want really, really expensive gear if you can help it. Well, as far as rods go, because they, you know, you can knock eyes off and all sorts. But no, so I'm going to be trying that out. Like I said, as soon as I sort the rod out for it, I might be able to put it on this rod for now, like so. Yeah, that'll work for now. I might end up snapping this rod because, like I said, it is a put together. But if it lands a few fish before it dies, fine. The trouble is, you see, I'll buy reels, I'll order reels online, but rods I'm a bit more wary about, because I ordered one once, it came broken, ordered it again, had the eyes knocked off, eventually got it fixed over here, and they paid for it. So there we go. Now, something else I picked up this week is another terabyte SSD hard drive for all those videos, because I've run out of space once again on the computer. I'm going to go with that for now. I'm just buying extra drives for the moment, but I actually want to build a better computer at the end of this year. I'm going to be using a Ryzen. There's a new one launching, I believe, but if the IPC gains are not great, then I'm going to use the older one, because hopefully the price will drop a little bit on that. But anyway, that'll come later on. I'm going to, like I say, sort it out later. I'm just looking at it now, trying to work out what I want and what I need it for, which is obviously making films and things. On top of that, I'd like to get a new camera. Now, as you know, I use action cams on the boat. They're small, they're light, they're easy, they're bulletproof, and that's why I use them. But I'd like to get a proper decent camera, like proper filming kind of camera. Now, I don't need tons of added extras on it, because I do most of my editing on the computer. I just need it to take really good videos that I can put on the computer, do some editing on, rendering on, that kind of thing, and then upload them. So if you have any ideas, or you are a filmmaker or know your cameras, let me know what you would recommend as a camera to use. Now, I don't mind spending a bit on it. I don't want to spend silly money. I'm not a professional filmmaker, camera person kind of thing, but I need something that's half decent, that'll get the job done, and at a reasonable price. Like I say, nothing excessive. I still will use the action cams, but when I do say shore fishing or something, it'd be nice to set up a nice tripod with a proper decent camera, with a proper mic and all the rest of it, and you know, try and get some better quality. I mean, you see the films you see, the quality on my computer is a lot better, but obviously when they go to YouTube, they compress the files and it but damages the quality. It makes the quality look a lot worse than it is. So you're not seeing the lot crystal clear clarity that I see when I do them here. Even though I upload in the same formats they want and the rest of it, I still get that degradation. I can't even say it. Can't even speak English anymore in the video quality. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if you know anything about cameras and what you would recommend for filming. But like I said, I still got to be able to carry it around with my other gear and all the rest of it. Now, as you know, this week it's been crazy with mackerel. It's been fantastic, because usually people ask when the mackerel aren't here or after they've gone and they all want mackerel, but this year they all want mackerel when the mackerel are here. So I've been working hard on that, and I've been filming it as well, but I've also missed a lot of footage, because when you're pulling up fish non-stop, you kind of don't worry about the camera when it dies of battery, because obviously if you go and do that, by the time you've done that and come back, the fish are gone and you missed your chance. So, but there's plenty of that. That'll be coming in the future, a lot of that, because like I say, there's a lot of footage I've taken, and like I say, what I do is I'm putting out videos up, but I skip several days of video each time I put a video out to keep up to date, and all that other footage I'll go through that near the end of the year when the boat comes up, and we'll put that up through the winter. We'll go back through the year of all the other trips that I've done, and I'll be putting all that footage out. But anyway, let's get into the fishing. Making ready to go out. Today we need to go and get about 20 mackerel, 20 to 30, somewhere around there. We don't need that many, and we also need to still get bass, but like I say, while they're feeding on the whitebait, there's not much chance. But at some point we'll get back into them. And like I say, a lot of the fish that are out there, they're too small anyway, so hopefully a few bigger ones will turn up chasing mackerel or a bigger bait. Now we're going to check these couple of pots. It's high tide at the moment. I'm in no rush, because the tide will drop down a little bit, ease off the tide. Like I say, I'm going to get these mackerel. We'll check out the marks, see if there's any bass, and possibly go down and do our pot south. It all depends what the weather does, because it is supposed to start getting windy a bit later. I think we're pretty good till, well, this afternoon, and we won't hopefully be out here in the afternoon. We'll be back. A little low swell, but that's because there's a low pressure moving in. So I think from today, the next 2 or 3 days I won't be out. Well, there's this bit of wind, and then we'll start again after the weekend. But for you, this video is probably, well, it could be next year, it could be in the winter, but it could also be like a week old, something like that. I mean, some of the videos I do go up in a couple of days, but quite often they're usually about a week or so by the time that they've been put together and uploaded and all the rest, especially with Guernsey's internet. The slowest internet in the world. Well, Statistically, it's not, but if you actually look at the real speed, it's pretty damn low. Right. One of the pots the rope's holding down. Might be snagged on the rock again. You can see it. Right there. It was just on the bottom, that's all. Let me grab a glove. That's a wet glove, I won't use that one. That's not bad. If we're in here, that's quite a decent spider crab. I'm going to move them anyway, so let's let it drain a bit. So there's one decent spider crab in there. Baby conger and a little baby lobster. That'll be the mackerel bait, you see. Look at that, little weeny crab, little weeny lobster. Absolutely tiny, these things. This. When you see, this is big, but it's not giant. And look at that, how it starts off, little weeny one. Hold of that one. I think the spider crabs are coming to an end round here. Sometimes you'll get like it goes quiet and you'll get a flush of some of the larger males before the year's out, or the season's out. But then after that you don't really want to take them because they're not good. You can get the odd good one, but then it's sort of wait till next season. Try start looking for the brown crab and just nice lobsters. Made it. Don't worry, it's tough as old nails, those things. Right. Put some mackerel heads in here. So I've been doing a bit of trailing off camera, but no luck. I didn't expect anything, to be honest. It's gone very quiet around here. Fish are probably moving on, following the whitebait shoals wherever they go. So there, I've still got out. I'm just testing for mackerel here, that's all. Heavy. What I'm trying to do is get to the camera to make sure you're switched on. Is it a pollack off the reef, or is it going to be a bass? It seems to fight a bit harder and stay up, so I'm going to say it might be a bass this one. The bass. Oh, whoa! Did you see that? The hook pulled free. I was just about to get it in the net. And I managed to scoop it. It was just coming into the net. Wow! We almost lost that one. Was so close to being lost. But what a fish! I need to move a minute. I'm running to these bloody bobbers that I've been putting in. I'll show you the bass first in a sec. Oh, it's probably good. Check that one out. That's probably our best this year so far. Look at that. Lovely big fish. It's got to be a, I'm going to say with that one, it's quite a hefty fish though, it's a bit thin. I'm going to say that's somewhere around the 7 pound mark. But that is a cracking fish. Whew, and we almost lost it at that very last minute when it pinged off the lure. Catch fish here. I'm gonna need my bucket. I feel it. I feel it. And when you be feeling it, you gotta get your bucket ready. Sounds like I'm gonna throw up. There we go. Three nice big ones. That's fine. Those are fine. Perfect size. Ooh, I got fish today for dinner. From that big pollack I had yesterday. And I actually put Old Bay on it as well. Again. See how that turned out. It's home this time though. In a proper frying pan. It doesn't stick. Another sandeel, I reckon. Yeah. Look at that, look. 2 little tiny mackerel, 2 sandeels. Baby nursery here. That one is going to make it. But something will eat it. Right, let's get out of this area, because like I say, it's small stuff in this bit. Well, I just trailed a lure behind the boat, with the camera off of course, something grabbed it. Could be a pollack, could be a bass. Don't think it's a mackerel unless it's foul up. Definitely not mackerel. I'm going to say it's feels pollacky, but I'm hoping bass. Feels heavy unless it's foul. Oh, that's it. Still literally threw it out, took off, and the rod just bent over. What have we got? That is a bass. That is a decent bass. Just releasing my drag a bit because this is a smaller lure with smaller hooks. Yep, that is definitely a decent one. There we go. Lovely job. So there is some big ones down there. It's funny because I was watching all the, oh, the lure came straight out. I was watching all the small ones and then I saw a load of, like a patch of big ones, you know. Sure enough, nice sized fish down there. Well pleased at that. I've had two like that today. Well, this isn't as big as the other one, but big enough. That's something out here. My flag is slipping, that's why. Well, you join me in the action. Yes, I am reeling with the camera in my hand. Just hooked another one. I don't know if you saw on the other camera, but I went to check the other camera and I caught it, and all of a sudden it said card full, so the memory card's full. So anyway, this is on my new small lure that I bought. I bought a couple of these. They're smaller, but they have only very small hooks, so I've got to be very careful that I don't overpower the fish because they can quite easily straighten these hooks. Let me just release my drag a little bit more. Just want to see how big it is because I mean they're small fish, but there is a couple of big ones down here mixing in. So it's always a chance it's a bigger one. Ah, it's a pollack. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that if we get it in. Right, let's just lift it out. If the hooks bend, they bend. There we go. There you go. New lure, real shiny little thing. It's a deep diver. I'm hoping to use it in the bay at some point on the high tides because my lures are always too high up for the high tides. I'm just going to switch cameras quickly. So that's the end of the video, I'm afraid. When you saw me put the camera up into the front of the boat, somehow I managed to press several buttons, because that's what you need to do, and I put the camera into time lapse. That's why that last bit of one, when you saw me coming back with the boat, it was just juttering along because I basically took that piece and used it even though it was time lapsed. But anyway, during the time of making this video, I haven't been out this week, as in the week you're watching it probably, at all, because it's been windy all week and I'm not going to get out till at least next week by the looks of it. I picked up another reel. This is a Lixter. It's only a cheap one. It's a little bait caster. It's a bit smaller than I thought it was going to be, but it's fine because I went by how much line it had on it. Now, years ago when I used to shore fish a lot more, I used to always use a multiplier when I was casting lures and plugs. I didn't use fixed spools, I always used a multiplier. So I wanted to get another little reel, so I got this tiny little bait caster. I can barely get my thumb in there. We'll give it a go. I'm going to put it on. Something like that, maybe. One of my little river rods kind of thing. like that. That should be ideal. And we'll give it a go like that. I might even take it out in the boat and give it a try. I might test it in the boat to start with. I'm actually just waiting for some line. I've got some braid coming, but I don't know if I'll use braid. I'm not a great fan of using braid for casting stuff. I prefer to use braid when I'm fishing deep water. When I'm shore fishing, I prefer to use still use mono and that. Many different reasons. Not going to discuss it now though. Yeah, so there you go. Another little reel to try out.